Hey gang, it's Bryan from FXBilliards. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, multi-rail position. 3-rail, 4-rail, in some cases maybe 5-rail position shots that you have got to have in your game, especially if you're going to play games like 9-ball and when you get to the end of the game in games like 8-ball. So let's get started. This first layout is never going to come up in a game, never ever. But I want you to see this because I want you to leave with the concept. The people that understand the concept are going to run more racks than the people that don't understand this concept. So I'm going to shoot it and then we'll discuss it real quick. So this is played with high right-hand English. 3 rails. We come off at 3 rails and we get on the 2-ball. Now, once we get on the 2, we want to get on the 3. Guess what we shoot? High right-hand English. This time, it's not as speed sensitive and we can let our strokes out because we don't have to get on another ball. And now we have a very makeable shot on the 3. And we're out. So let's take a look at it and discuss it real quick. As I said, you're not going to have this configuration. Just not going to come up. But you will have that configuration. You'll have this configuration. You'll have a situation where this ball is here. There's a lot of different options you have when you play it this way. Also, if there's not a 3rd ball there, your zone to be on that 2nd ball is huge. Now, I know a lot of you, especially relative beginners and intermediate players, you say, I'm going to shoot the 2 to 1, unless I'm playing 9-ball, and you're going to make a big mistake because a couple bad things are going to happen. One, your cue ball is going to move laterally across table. You have no idea where it's going to end up. I know exactly where my cue ball is going to end up. And 2, your 2-ball is either going to come off the 1 and stay there on the rail where you have a cue ball that's lost God knows where, or worse, your 2-ball ends up on that short rail and you're out here. So that's why you need to have that shot in your game so that you understand the concept, because like I said, that 3-ball configuration is not going to come up, but I'm sure you've seen this one recently. This looks a lot like an 8-ball configuration because we got the strike balls on the table, but this could be 9-ball, it could be straight pull, it could be a lot of things. We're going from the 3 to the 4. We don't have a decent shot on the 4, and plus if we did, this would not be the best time to take it. We can come off at 3 rails after playing this 3. When you see these balls on the cushion, think about, what is my path? If I come off of here, you don't need the math, guys. You don't need to be a 3-cushion genius to know if I play this with high left, I'm going to come off of 3 rails, the cue ball is headed down here, and all you want to do is be in this zone. It can't even scratch from there, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to play this with high left. We come off of 3 rails and we get on this 4-ball with an angle. We want an angle. We don't want to be straight. Cue ball comes around, crosses the exact center of the table. That's how we know we can't scratch. If our ball's going to cross the exact center of the table, it's going to hit a rail. It's not going into a pocket. Keep that in mind. That last rail crosses the center of the table, you're not going to scratch. So now, not only did we get on our 4, but as I said earlier, we're on our 4 in a way that we automatically get on the 8. We're on the 8. You got to reach for this one. That's okay because we are out and our opponent is devastated. So, high left, running English, okay? It is the big sister of the first shot we took. And it is common. Have that shot in your game. Let's look at something else. I cannot make a video about multi-rail position without reminding you guys of this shot. This is one of the most versatile multi-rail position shots in the game. You're on the wrong side of this 12. You play this with high left. You see how soft I hit it, by the way. And you come around and you get shape on this 8-ball. Now, the only thing you need to know about this shot is as the angle changes, so does your landing spot. So here sends me to the pocket. Here puts me here. You learn by shooting this, and the distance that the 12 is from the pocket will also determine what your overall angle is as far as getting to that pocket. Now, what do you do if your path, the path we just took, is occupied? Something is in the way. We know our cue ball's coming off the rail there. So how do we get back here? Now, this is not an intermediate player shot, but I like to show it to you guys from time to time because it is very important for advanced players. People that are moving up, men and women that are moving up pretty quick should have this shot in their games. It is a spirit breaker, and those of you who are relative beginners or intermediate players should understand the concept. We are going to draw this back, come off of these two rails with a bunch of low left, and get down here for this 8. So this shot looks like this. We come off this rail, and we once again have perfect position on the 8 ball. So this is actually a little too perfect, but this is another one of those shots. Now the downside of this one is because of the speed and because of the amount of English that we're putting on it, we actually have a lot less control than we had with the initial shot. Coming that way with running English is a lot different than shooting a draw shot with running English, because now we have additional factors that can control whether or not we get the position we want here or end up in this pocket. It's hard to judge the angle when you're shooting it with draw than when you're shooting it with follow. But if your route is taken, this ball's in the way, that shot works very well for you if you have it in your game. Let's look at something else. If you haven't noticed the theme with a lot of these shots yet, I'll tell you what it is. A lot of times we're getting shape on balls that are on the short rail because these are the toughest ones to get on. Here we're on the 2. We are all but straight in on this 2. This is actually as straight as you can get. So we are going to cheat the pocket a little bit, play this with high left, force follow, just like that. We'll come off this rail, and if we shoot it with enough speed, get really nice position on this 8. You can't overhit that shot, especially not on a 9-foot table. The worst thing that'll happen is you'll come off this rail and bounce out a little bit more. That shot's very important, guys. Have that in your game. If you don't have it in your game, watch my video on force follow, because that will help you make that shot and a ton of other shots, but make sure you get that in your game. Let's look at something else. This is actually another one of my favorite shots. I got to show this to you. Hey, what's the theme of the day? Yes, your object ball that you're trying to get on is on the short rail. So we're playing 9 ball in this situation. We are going to get on this 9. What do? 3 rail position. We come off of this rail and this rail. I leave myself this angle all the time, intentionally, because I can get so many places on the table with this. It's like that 3 rail shot that we looked at earlier coming off the side pocket. This takes me to a zillion places on the table. You could put that 9 ball just about anywhere, and if I have this angle on this 8, I'm going to get there. So the shot looks like this. We're coming down here to come off of this diamond, which will put us on the 9 ball with a very makeable shot. High right hand spin, high right hand English here. We come down, we're going to hit right there, and again, it's very difficult to overshoot. You're going to be on that 9 ball. The other thing that could happen is, let's say you are this guy in a game of 8 ball. Now your target is not position, but breaking up this cluster. It is the same shot, I've shown you this in cluster breaking videos. Is that what they're called? High right hand spin. We come over, booyah, we break up the cluster, and now, not the easiest run out, but a lot better shape than we were before that shot. So, the theme, short rail position, that's theme 1. Theme 2 is you can get a lot of places with each and every one of these shots. So that's why you need to have these in your game. Let's look at a few other things. Guys, this is a shot I like to call a run stopper. You are on the 2 ball and your 8 is backwards. You're going in that direction. So what do? You don't want to end up shooting a bank shot on this 8 or you will be the guy racking when you're done. So what you do is you play this with high right, come off of 3 rails. Off of there, there, and there, and notice I really let my stroke out. Let your stroke out on these. You come down here and you got a shot on the 8. And people say to me, well, I might scratch. What's going to happen if I scratched it? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen there. You're in no better shape than you were before. Because if you played it down here and you had to shoot a bank shot on that 8, come on now, really? The other thing I tell people is, shoot it and try to scratch for me. Catch that 4.5 inches for me. I don't think you're going to make it. So let your stroke out, come off of those rails, get perfect shape on this 8, call it a wrap. Let's look at something else. So here's an interesting situation. We're on the 5 ball. We need to get down here, let's say on the 8 that is in a lot of traffic. Normally what we would do is we play this with high right. We come off of this rail with this inside and we're on this side and we have a shot on the 8. That's the intelligent way to go. We could even put a little bit of force follow on it to make sure we got that angle. But what do you do when your path is blocked? The spot where you need to hit to get that force follow is taken. You run into that 13, you lose the game. I'm sorry. We could shoot the draw shot. We draw it back, low left. We come into this gap. This is not a beginner player shot. It's not an intermediate player shot. The good news is you probably won't have to shoot it very often, but if you're an advanced player, this is the thing that separates you, the men and women, from the boys and girls. You play this shot, you get on this 8, and none of the people that were in the gallery watching you at your APA game had it in their game. So this is what the shot looks like. It's not that difficult at all. We shoot this with low left. Come off of these 2 rails down here. Come back down here. Let's hit that diamond. Boom. Perfect position. Even if you don't see that shot come up in games, the concept, once again, going back to the beginning, is what makes the difference. Knowing to do that is what makes the difference. So many times in playing with my friends and my cousins, I hear these words, how would you even know to do that? A lot of players, APA 5s, 6s even, there's a lot of shots like this they haven't even seen before. So get it in your game and it's going to make a great addition to the way you play. Let's look at something simple. Similar situation, but we are straight in this time. How do we get on this 8? Multi-rail position. We come off of that rail and this rail. This does require a bit more of a stroke, but you're going to come back here with left-hand English. Your cue ball is going to take a sharp angle down. Yes, this is a dangerous shot because actually the first time I ever did it in competition, I scratched in that corner pocket. It was not a good thing for me. But you shoot it here, low left, this rail, you come off of this rail, and you move in line with this shot. All right? Work on that shot if you're a high intermediate player, because even though you are in danger of scratching here and you don't have a lot of control over it, there's not a lot of things that get you here like that shot does. So you're worried about scratching in a situation where you were going to lose the game if you didn't get this position. Weigh out your risk return, guys. Don't say, oh, I'm scared I might scratch in the corner pocket. Yeah, I'm scared of racking. So what I do is play shots to give me the best opportunity to win the game. So once again, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you subscribing. So tune in if you want to learn some real world situations that you can use to win games. Have a great day.